Everyone, I'm Sparkle. Welcome. This is going to be a 1-hour class that's going to finesse our way into the hips. So we'll start not too fast, go into some pretty strong standing pose sequences that will prepare us for some deeper hip opening that goes all the way till the end. So stick with me and we'll do an hour practice together. Let's get started. Let's start in hands and knees. We're going to start a little bit slower, and then we'll pick up the tempo right around 10 minutes or so. So coming to hands and knees, we're going to take the hips in a circle just to observe where the hips are, what's going on in there. You're just going to take a little swirling circular motion from your hands and knees that brings you towards camel and then back to child's pose. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So we want to finesse our way up to more active moments or more up to tempo by just sort of getting in here and checking out to see what the state of things are. Next time you bring your center of gravity forward, go ahead and release all the way down onto the mat. Tops of the feet to the mat, rolling the shoulders back, inhale Cobra. Exhale, pull back on the hands and lengthen on your way down. So it's a feeling of like you're gonna lengthen the body off the front edge of the mat. Inhale again. And again, exhale, hands pull back as the heart moves forward and leads the way. 2 more of those. Inhale. Really just shift the practice of coming out into the heart. So you're leading from that place. Hug in from the low belly, hands and knees, back to child's pose. And then inhale to down dog. Now do the same thing with the breath here. So what that means is you're introducing yourself, you're welcoming yourself fully into your dog pose through the lungs, through the life presence of the flow of your inhale and that complete long exhale. Inhale, walk your hands back to your feet at the back of the mat. Bring your fingertips to opposite elbows. Lift the toes, bend the knees just a little bit, lengthen your heart forward, and then pressing down through the legs and fold, just releasing your spine like a waterfall. And then in the pose, do a little side to side, like bring one elbow towards the front edge of the mat, and then alternating other elbow towards the front edge of the mat. So you're sort of swaying and a little bit of a twist side to side. Next time your left elbow swings to the front of the mat, staying in this forward fold, press the left hip back a little bit and just linger in this, breathing up the left side from the hip through the side waist, ribs. One more deep breath. Do it in a way that brings you even more deeply into this twist. So you're maybe looking a little more over to the left. And let's do the other side. So we hang on the right side. Right elbow is forward. The hips are still where we intend them to be. So in a forward fold with the joints stacked, hips over knees over ankles. And breathe in a way that deepens the experience from the inside. releasing down the center line. Come to flat back, hands to shins, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Sweep the arms out to the sides, all the way up to the sky, standing at the back edge of the mat. Exhale, hands in prayer. Roll the shoulders onto the back, standing up really tall. Inhale, sweep your arms to the sky. And exhale, fold. Bend the knees. Let's take chair at the back of the mat. So feet stay about hips width apart. Inhale, hips go really low. Sweep the arms right alongside the ears. Lift the toes, bringing the weight more into the heels. And on an inhale, pulse the heart, the front of the heart up. So you're sort of bringing a little bit more breath, a little bit more of a boost into the front of the heart. Almost as if your arms make it to vertical with the wrists right over the shoulders. Take a deep breath in, one more little boost, lifting the front of the heart, leaning back, and exhale, fold. You can straighten the legs. Inhale, walk your hands all the way forward, now coming to plank. Take a moment in plank, bringing the shoulder blades onto the back. So you're feeling a little bit of a melting from the front of the heart towards the earth as you feel the bottom corners of the shoulder blades drawing in towards each other. One more breath. Exhale, the knees can come down. Let's land the hips and heart at the same moment. And we'll do a couple more rounds of Cobra the way we did. So inhale, arching, growing tall, lifting up, lengthening through the back of the neck, and then leading from the heart. Exhale, lengthen your way back down. Couple more. Inhale. Exhale. If it helps to close your eyes, if that can bring even more awareness to the center of the heart, do it. One more time. Give it a go. All right, back to the beginning. Lift the hips, hands and knees, and we'll circulate the hips again. Couple reverse circles. And down dog. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Open the hip, keep the leg extending through the top knee, and reach the foot as high as you can, taking the leg vertical from the hips to the knee, to the toes, straight up towards the sun. Then keep the thigh lifting that much and bend the knee. Exhale, put that foot down. Let's do the other side. So we keep the right leg extending as it glides up towards the sky, opening up through the front of the pelvis. And then just extend that line from the pelvis up through the top knee, up through the toes. Keep it that high. Exhale, bend the knee. Exhale, feet side by side in down dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower down. Just one. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, lengthening from the center of the heart as you release. Hands and knees. Down dog. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower. Roll the shoulder blades onto the back. Press down into the earth to lift the heart. And then lead from the heart as you lower. Hands and knees. Down dog. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Go right to that point, straight up towards the sky. Top leg vertical. Keep it that high, bend the knee. Deep breath in. And exhale, step between the hands. Let's stretch the back leg. So coming up, spine vertical, stack the hands on the front thigh. Lunge forward into the front thigh. So there's just a lot of forward momentum till you get to that place where you can feel your back leg, the hip flexors. So go to that place where you first feel the hip flexors and then sit down a little more through the left hip. And from the right hip, inwardly lift up through the right waist, right side of the ribs. So you're breathing and encouraging length from the right hip all the way up to the armpit. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, keeping all that space up the side body. Hook your thumbs overhead. So it looks like this. Just the tips of the thumbs hook. Bend the elbows out to the sides. And then pressing the elbows forward, move the shoulder blades more deeply onto the back. If you feel the rhomboids or the upper back muscles engage, you're there. So keep that. Now from the pelvis, reach up through the side waist, side ribs. And take that energy all the way up, extending through the arms to the tips of the fingers. A big stretch. One more breath. Boost the front of the heart even higher. And exhale. Yikes, that's a good one. Down dog. Whew. All right, other side. Right leg to the sky. Go as high as you can with the leg extending. Then bend the knee. Exhale, step through. Back knee down. I'm taking the top of my back foot flat. You can join me in that. Stack the hands on the front thigh. And just get that slow momentum. It's kind of like, you know how when you're pouring honey, it's that like slower than you think forward momentum through the pelvis. Press through the back shin and the top of the back foot into the mat. And inhale, lengthen from the inside of the pelvis, up the left side, up the left ribs, all the way to the armpit. And then from that length, let's take the arms up, thumbs hook. First, we start with the elbows bent. When the elbows bend, we can get the shoulder blades back more. So you'll feel more of a strong connection to the back of the heart with the shoulder blades. See if you can keep that. On an inhale, lift up now, stretching from the low belly to the heart to the arms. Feel the back foot pressing into the ground again. And then inhale, lift up through the front of the heart, stretch. Exhale. Let's find the front of the mat. Step the back foot forward. Lengthen, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, hands in prayer. All right, we'll pick up the pace just a little bit, going one breath, one movement. So we just want to get into the flow of it and do our best to stay in the groove. So the breath leads the way and the movement comes next. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. We're going to step or hop our way back to plank and lower. Inhale, Cobra, same way we've been doing it. So lengthen from the front of the heart, lead your way, lengthening back down, hands and knees, down dog. Left leg to the sky. Do the same lunge, but with the back knee up. So stepping between the hands, keep the back knee lifted. Sweep your arms out and up. Hook the thumbs overhead, same way we've been doing. Bend the elbows. Without the elbows actually moving forward, press the elbows forward and move the shoulder blades back. From there, stretch up. Exhale, down dog. Other side, right leg. Exhale, step. Inhale, lunge. Back knee stays up unless you're modifying. Hook your thumbs. Bend the elbows. Press the elbows forward in a way that brings the shoulder blades back. And then from that place, with the whole shoulder blade, upper back, stretching and moving back, lift up. Stretch. And down dog. Gaze to the front of the mat. Step or hop, feet together. Front of the mat, bend the knees, inhale, chair. Exhale, prayer twist. Let's bring the right elbow outside the left knee. Press the top hand into the bottom hand, lift and turn. Inhale, hug in from the low belly, chair. Exhale, other side. Left elbow, right knee. So the common thing, we're just going to linger in this for another couple of breaths, is for the heart to kind of rest. So just check and see if you're resting your torso on your thighs. We actually want to be doing the opposite. So lift up, kind of like you're first becoming aware of the space between the knees and the heart, and then lifting the heart as much away from the knees as you can. Inhale, hug in from the low belly, chair. Exhale, straighten the legs and fold. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Full stretch to the sky. Exhale, hands in prayer. Do two more like that. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold. Now you can interlace your hands behind your back, send the knuckles up and over. You can even keep the arms here as we flat back. And exhale, we're going to make it all the way to the mat. So step or hop back to plank and lower. Same practice. Not only is it a cobra, but it's that heart-centered exhale that brings you back down. Inhale, hands and knees, down dog. Left leg to the sky. Exhale, step through between the hands. Turn the back toes all the way out now. Let's do warrior two, reverse. So the left hand goes up and back. Pause here for just a moment. We're going to come back to this one. So you just kind of take a mental note here of what this shape feels like. Exhale, bring the forearm to the front thigh. Sweep your right arm straight up to the sky. And then inwardly twist a little bit more, bringing the right ribs back, turning the heart towards the sky, low belly towards the sky. Exhale. Right hand comes down. Turn the back heel up. Now sweep your left arm up towards the sky. Keep pressing down through the inner edge of the front foot. And then think back to our chair pose twist. Same thing. You feel where the heart and the knee are in relation to each other. And then lift the heart. Exhale. Step to the front of the mat. Lengthen. And exhale, fold. Sweep the arms out and up to the sky. Front of the mat, hands in prayer. Inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, fold. You can add the arms interlaced behind your back, rolling the shoulders over if that felt good. Same thing, flat back, heart forward. And exhale, let's make it all the way back. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, down dog. All right, other side. Right leg to the sky. The inhale glides it up. Exhale, step. Warrior two, reverse. There's that muscle memory. Creating this side. Remember that honey feeling? Bringing your weight, your center of gravity low and forward. Really go for it. See if you can get the front thigh parallel with the earth so it really sits low. Exhale, forearm to thigh. Sweep your left arm up to the sky. Exhale, left hand down. Turn the back heel up, sweep the right arm up. So we're in this revolved lunge. Now another thing you can do after becoming aware of the heart and the front knee is feel where your belly is touching your front thigh. And then draw it in and twist it up towards the sky. Kind of like you're clearing the front thigh with the belly. One more inhale. See if you can give it a little bit more of a slide, belly up. Exhale. Step back, lower down. Inhale, Cobra. Lengthening from the heart on the way down. Hands and knees, down dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step or hop. Front of the mat. Sweep the arms all the way up. Full stretch to the sky. Exhale, hands in prayer. All right, feet together. We're going to take eagle pose with the arms. So sweep the arms. Arms forward, take the right elbow over the left. Hands press into each other. Lift up. So it's kind of like you're sliding if there's a wall in front of you. Or even you're extending, it's a feeling of extending a flag here. So you've got something in your hands and you're going up. Keep that feeling. Bend the knees, take chair. Now in this, breathe into the back of the heart. So you're sort of pressing and filling out the center of your upper back where the energetic heart is. Sit a little lower, and we're going to step back to a lunge. Left leg steps back, high lunge, arms stay. So take a deep breath in, heart lifts. We did this lunge earlier, just not with these arms. So take a moment, settle in, hips move forward, heart lifts. Unwind through your arms. And then reverse warrior two. So remember that back toes turn out. We go all the way back and back to the previous flow. So the forearm comes down on an exhale to the front knee. Sweep your left arm up to the sky. And then from here, either stay here for a breath or two. We're going to see if we can drop the whole right arm inside the knee. A block could come in really handy here. If you don't have a block, fingertips inside the front heel. And then take a moment. So the action is the same. You can even bring your left hand to the center of your heart and then turn towards the sky. And then bring the hand down to the third chakra just below the end of the sternum. Turn towards the sky. Go to the navel, turn towards the sky. So we want to keep all of that upward lift. Big breath in. Exhale. Left hand comes down. Let's do the previous pose. Back heel turns up. Sweep your right arm up to the sky. We're warming up the hips here. Get a deep breath in. Now get that same upward lift in those 3 points. Heart, top of the belly, low belly under the navel. Exhale. Down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Gaze forward. Exhale, step or hop. Feet together. Sweep up all the way to stand. Hands in prayer. All right, other side. So just the arms move. Catch your breath. Arms forward. Left elbow over right. Proudly lift your flag with these arms. Bend the knees. Chair. Fill out the back heart with breath. Lift the front of the heart a little bit more. Hips go down, heart, elbows, flag goes up. Lean back. Exhale, shift the weight. We're going to step the right leg back to a lunge. Back knee stays up if you can. If you're modifying for lower energy or sore legs, you can put the knee down. Inhale, same thing. So the honey feeling, center of gravity moving forward, low belly, heart lifting. Inhale, unwind. And then reverse warrior two. So back toes turn out, back arm goes down the outer seam of the back leg, left arm all the way reaching up and back. Remember the honey feeling, pouring honey through the front thigh. Exhale, forearm to thigh, front leg, right arm up. Or the whole arm extends inside the leg, coming down onto a block or the earth. Look up to the sky. Now it's really about the upward turn from the heart and belly, but it's also about this left shoulder and left arm pressing into the left knee. So press the arm into the knee into the arm. They work together, synergizing. Exhale, right hand down, turn the back heel up. Let's do the other side like we've been doing. Left arm to the sky. Now I'm not putting a lot of awareness into the back leg today, but anytime we go into this pose, the back hip wants to droop. So lift it up first, and then unpeel the belly from the front thigh and turn it towards the sky. So if we named every detail in every pose, we wouldn't get anywhere. So we're just taking it easy. Step back to down dog. Inhale, plank. We would just do like one pose for an hour. Wouldn't be bad, but it wouldn't be fun. That's fun. Lower down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Gaze forward. Exhale, step or hop. Front of the mat. Sweep the arms, full stretch to the sky. Exhale, hands in prayer. Okay. I'm going to grab a block. If you have one, it might be really handy for this. I'm also going to turn towards you. So join me. You can face whatever direction you're looking towards me. Feet together. Block is going to go forward if you have one. Hands to hips. Bend the left knee. Put the left heel above the knee. So it's like a number 4. From there, using the hands on the hips, press down. So you're grounding into the hips with the hands to lift up through the heart. That's key. From there, bend into the standing leg and take the hips back at the same rate. What tends to happen is the right hip is going to want to push forward. So especially pull back from the right hip in, or the right knee into the right hip. Sit low. And we're going to go forward to see if you can connect to the block if you're using one. Place it under the left hand. The right hand goes to the ball mound of the left foot. So we're doing opposite foot to hand. Now press the foot into the hand, press the hand into the foot. Now with that continued pressure, ball of the foot into the hand, widen from the center of the pelvis out through the left hip. Keep all that. Fill into the back ribs with your breath. Draw in from the pelvic floor, low belly hugging in and up. And then if you can, sweep your left arm like you're doing a chair pose with the left arm. So you're coming off the block and making a chair pose, extended arm shape right in line with the ear. One more big breath. Whew. Exhale. Return to the block. Shift your weight just right. See if you can bring your hands to prayer. And then inhale, stand up. Exhale, release. All right, it's tricky, right? Because it's just as hard for the standing leg as it is for our bent leg. Other side. So block shifts to the other side, hands to hips, right ankle just above the left knee. Ground into the pelvis, lift up through the heart. Exaggerate that movement fully. Then exhale, deepen into the creases of the hips. Sending the hips back evenly. Draw from the standing leg, from the outer knee to the outer hip. So you're taking that energy back. Keep the crease of the hips moving back, both sides. Maybe your block. Right hand to the block. So this is a great modified version. Is you don't have to press into the foot. You just hang here. Breathing into the right hip. If you can connect, the pressure actually engages the muscles and in turn opens the hip even more. So you press the left palm into the mound of the right big toe. Roll the shoulder blades onto the back, both sides. So if this is your sweet spot, stay here. If your sweet spot is taking the right arm now into more of a balance pose version, into a chair arm, do that. Here we are, undivided breath. Don't cut any corners. You're giving yourself this experience fully energized, fully in your power. Hands in prayer. Inhale, stand up. Exhale. A little shake. Side to side. Move your block. Front of the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, fold. All right. From here, we'll take Garland Pose. So bend the knees. We just go into a crouching position. Come up high on the fingertips, lift through the heart. And then either you're staying like this, letting your knees slide away from each other. If you can come down onto the heels, do that. And then snug your armpits in front of your shins. So we want to make this nice deep flexion for the hips. and compression for the low belly. So really get those armpits in front of the shins as best you can. From there, thread your arms back, interlace the hands behind the heels, and bow your head. Deep attention to the low belly. Every time you inhale, fill and think of your belly here like water. You're expanding it and just allowing it to pour with gravity between the thighs, maybe even snuggling in a little bit more. Rounding passively through your back. All right, unthread the arms. Walk up, lifting through the heart. Let's step back to plank and lower. Shoulder blades onto the back. Inhale, Cobra. This little sequence in this placement is a bit of a palate cleansing, so just take your time with it. We'll rest in child's pose. In child's pose, settle even more deeply by shifting your weight in a rocking motion side to side. Inhale, hands and knees, down dog. So we're really getting into the hips today, but we're doing it in a very active way. Inhale, reach the left leg to the sky. Exhale, step between the hands, back knee comes down. Now from here, heel toe your left foot to the left edge of the mat. Lift up through the heart. Stay here. Or if you can walk your hands a little bit more forward and come down onto your forearms. Sort of reflecting on what all of these poses have in common. This process overall is, I think, a lot about just reclaiming what you hold in your body. So you're taking you're essentially just taking your body back, taking control of your container, deciding what you're gonna hold on to. So when we stretch, we release on a cellular level the emotions, the experiences, the traumas, the stickiness. So you can think about that left hip right now, we're wringing it out. Either stay here, if you can thread your left arm underneath your knee like we did before. Well, we didn't do exactly like this, but take the hand to the back of the calf and then take the calf over the shoulder, kind of like it's like a backpack. And then from here, sweep the left arm back, wrap it around the outside of the left hip, placing the back of the hand on the back or the left waist. Now lift the back thigh, so you're sort of putting the weight evenly back into the front foot. And we're going to see if we balance just right, can we free up the right hand, taking it out to the side as a little kickstand for a moment, or taking it behind your back, see if you can clasp the hands in a bind. Bowing and allowing your spine to lengthen, streamlining your effort. So the weight of the head is letting go, or maybe even resting on the ground if you have a long torso and short legs like me. Inhale, unwind, taking out of that, and we're going to do this familiar sort of neutralizing movement, so hands and knees, and now take the hips in that familiar circular motion. Down dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky. So right leg's turn. Now with all of these poses, and really the whole practice overall, we want to finesse our way into poses. So it's not about force, but we're finessing. So your hands inside the front foot. You can heel toe your right foot a little wider so that it fits. Lift through the heart. In order for the process to be therapeutic, serving us in a bigger sense, we have to sort of break off the pieces of the practice that are going to be digestible, that we're going to be able to process. So if that means staying here on your fingertips, that's you, that's great. See if you can walk the hands forward a little bit. If you're going further, forearms come down. Think back to that Garland Pose or Malasana we did earlier. There's a very sort of efficient, flowing, releasing quality to the spine here. Bring that sensibility back from the back of the heart, down through the head. Even the hips are sort of allowed to just be heavy here. Now after a couple breaths of that, you may find that you can start to work on the bind. So you take the right hand to the back of the right calf and just explore it. Wiggle yourself around just right. If you need to move your right foot, you can. Shift your weight so that you can take your, and you can really see the left arm here, so I'm taking it out off the mat, up on the fingertips, and then taking the right hand and wrapping it up so it's going to the outside of the hip and resting palm face up on the back of the right waist. Now if you lift the back thigh just right and center yourself, you may find that you can wrap the left arm and clasp behind the back. From there, we just want to fully absorb. We just want to do the time. Take 5 breaths. Receive the cleansing flow of the breath into the right hip, wringing you out. Maybe the head comes down. Doesn't matter. What matters if you're in the breath response, if you're able to maintain that deep breath feeling, tapping into your body's self-healing, breath flowing through the right hip. Inhale, unwind. Take a slow train out of that. Slow motion, hands and knees, circulating the hips. All right, continuing. Back to down dog one more time. It's another beautiful neutralizing pose in the sequence. 5 deep breaths, just sort of readapting your body to this pose. Let's even do this even more fully. Take the feet as wide as your mat. Bend your knees a lot. So you're sort of sloping down, kind of like you're doing limbo in your down dog, getting low profile. And then from there, just like we did earlier, pull the outer knees back to the outer hips, both sides. So you're going to feel your butt sticking out. Do that even more. You can lift the heels, thigh bones slide back in space. Press through the hands, heart moves back. Awesome. And then lengthen and return to your regular down dog, feet hips width apart. Exhale, step or hop to the front of the mat. We're going to transition to seated. So if you can do that all in one graceful motion, there's your chance. Okay, here we go. I'm turning to face you. You can just face me as well. However you are on your mat is fine. Use your hands, widen the hips. So you're rocking side to side to start out with a foundation where you can feel your sit bones connected to the earth. Extend the legs for just a moment. Bend the right knee, flexing the right toes. Think back to how we did this earlier. In fact, we can even mimic the same way with the hands behind you. Draw in from the low back, lifting and exaggerating from the heart, and then lean forward. Bring the left hand to the ball mound of the right foot. From there, they press into each other, so the foot presses back into the hand. Feel what this does to your low belly. Root the left hip down. Lift up through the heart, and then lean forward. Remember our Cobra? From the center of the heart, you're leading. So inhale and exhale. Yikes, it's so good, right? Keep the left toes flexed. Keep pinning the left hip down. It's going to want to come up. From the little toe side of this right foot that you have your hand on, pull up, engaging the muscle up the outer shin. Let's do the other side. This is actually a really great modification I'm realizing for the next pose, which is fire log pose. So you can repeat this if it feels like it's a better fit. Hands behind you. Inhale, lift up. If you don't know what fire log is, don't worry about it. You will in a sec. So you're lifting up through the heart, and then let's go forward. And you can really feel the difference here. So if you sort of go into it with a collapsed feeling through the heart, with your shoulders rolling forward, it's a very different experience. So plug the fingertips in behind the pelvis and really exaggerate. So you're lifting. We did this at the very beginning. It's that you can almost think of it like you're a puppet here, and there's a string from the center of your heart to the sun. So you're lifting up and then leading from that place. Flex the left toes, right hand, left foot. Now what I really notice here is that the right hip wants to unplug. So press down, right hip into the ground. Lift through the heart. Now the gaze is wide and towards the earth. But really we're looking inwardly, so you're feeling your right sit bone plugging into the earth. The energy through the right leg extending all the way through the heel and flexing through the toes. And keeping that directional flow leading from the heart forward as you bow. Now, I know a lot of people might be way more up like this. That's totally fine. The key here is the hand to the foot. So if we can get the hand to the foot, we can all practice this. It's the same thing we did in our standing hip opener, in our sort of chair pose, hip opening pose. The foot presses into the hand, and the hand presses into the foot, and that muscular energy synergizes together to engage and open up into the hip. Okay, let's come up. I know we're really going for it. Stretch the legs forward for a sec, bounce the knees, and then we'll put the whole pose together. So you can either repeat what we just did, or you take your right foot and your left foot on top now. So this is fire log, the shins are stacked. Now the very first thing we did was widen to plug in through the sit bones. Flex the toes, both sides. We're gonna see if we can create this feeling, the synergizing hands to feet with two sides at once. Here we go. Hands behind you, inhale. Most important thing is this preparation moment. So it's full acceptance. Inhale, you're lifting up through the chest. Balancing the sit bones, and then from that acceptance, you're pulling forward through the heart as you start to bow into the pose. Now, once you get kind of maybe 45 degrees into it, see if you can flex the toes and find the hands on the roots of the big toes, both sides. So I've got right hand, left foot, left hand, right foot. Roll the shoulder blades onto the back. That part's key. I see a lot of this in this pose. So really get the shoulder blades onto the back. You can think about the same way we practiced Cobra earlier. There's an engagement from the shoulder blades, both sides plugging into the back of the heart. Lengthen through the heart. And exhale. Now how far you go is really up to you, but feel the feet and the hands working together. So the feet press actively into the hands, and the hands squeeze back into the feet. It's almost like a hug, like they're embracing. It's a big squeeze. You can think of it like your left foot is kicking continuously into the right hand. The right foot is continuously kicking into the left hand. If you get your right and left mixed up, just kick through both feet into the hands. Inhale. Exhale, maybe a little bit deeper since we've been here. Inhale, come up. Lean back. Little shake. Stay in the zone. Here we go, other side. So left shin is on the bottom. Right shin is on the top. Little side to side. Hands behind you. So the concept that I really want us to feel again is the hand to the foot connection. So if you're in the previous version with one leg out, with your, in this case you'd have your left leg out, your left hand connects to the ball mount of the right foot and they work together. So that's the concept that's going to help to open up the hip more. And then the other one, of course, is a universal. We want to get the low back lifting up into the front of the heart. So there's some common threads, regardless of how it may look in comparison to anyone else. All right. I'm procrastinating here, so if you're procrastinating too, get both hands onto your feet, flex your toes. Now, the real mature way to think of this is to stay upright and to think of it from the low back. It's easy to sort of round and lay into the pose, but we want to be thinking more holistically and acknowledging how everything is connected. So acknowledging the way that lifting gets you actually deeper, even though it's counterintuitive. So synergizing, pressing each foot into its hand, shoulder blades on the back. Even if you only move an inch, is that feeling from Cobra, that sort of leadership that comes from your heart through the front of your chest and lengthens you as you bow. And just hum with me with the breath. We're just putting the work in. Inhale, coming up. Lean back. Release the legs one at a time. A little shake. And let's lay back. Well deserved. Shavasana. This might just be me, but in case this is valuable for anyone else, when I open my hips, really when you do anything that is releasing patterns of tension from the body, it has an effect on the body as a whole. So as I just laid back after the hip opening, I was able to get a pop in my back that I've really been needing. So it's just a beautiful reminder as you settle into Shavasana, the connectedness and the way that tension patterns in the body affect each other. So just know that the reach and the value of this work is really, able to reach everywhere. Softening here towards stillness. Digging in through the right heel, lift the right knee, and just lengthen out, kind of like sending a lengthening ripple through the right leg. And then do the same thing with the left side. It's just like a little knee lift, rippling all the way out, so the legs lengthen and can just sort of rest with a little bit more of a space in the hips. Now the shoulders, one at a time, just tuck them in towards the back of the heart. And feeling the earth holding you. Take the deepest breath of the day right here. Let's do an open mouth exhale. So we want a sigh that comes from the hips. One more time, inhale. And open mouth from the hips, exhale. Start to move your fingers and toes. Interlace the hands and extend the arms overhead. Let's roll onto the side, coming up to seated. Feel comfortable closing the eyes for a moment and observe the after, the current state of your hips, how you've changed. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I've got other beautiful yoga classes and I really appreciate you sharing this experience with me. Let's bring the hands into prayer. Namaste. Flying too close to the sun. Flying too close to the sun.